Okay. Formally, good evening, everyone. So, like I said, we're going to be looking at DAX. DAX is we call it data analysis expression, and it's just like all these functions. Remember these functions within Excel, when we are creating Excel or spreadsheets, these as functions, and DAX is similar. DAX will help us to kind of create calculated column or measures, such as trying to understand the total revenue, marginal revenue, total profit, this and that. So with that, that is the tool in Power BI that will be helping us to do that, helping us to understand the KPIs. So you see, we've been building, we've been analyzing, we've been transforming our data and building a dashboard. But when we want to go a bit advanced, then we have to include DAX, and that is what we are going to do. So when we use DAX to transform our data, then we can do our normal data visualization. So I've uploaded both the lesson notes and the data sets we are going to use for practice tonight. So we are going to try to work end to end. The purpose is to use DAX to transform data and then visualize the data, create a dashboard after transformation with DAX. And with that, I think we've covered enough. We've covered enough in Power BI to get us started. And once we are done with Power BI, the next tool we are going to look at is Tableau, which we know Tableau and Power BI is very similar. They do the same thing. Both of them are visualization tools. It's just that they are coming from different companies. So we're going to try to spend some time in Tableau because it's highly respected in the industry, as well as just like Power BI. If you don't know where you are going to be working, you might spend all your time trying to learn Power BI and find out that the company that is willing to hire you, they are using Tableau. Okay, let's get started. First, let's look at our lesson notes. Start looking at our lesson notes. Then we go practical with the rest of the tonight. Okay. So the purpose here is to understand DAX and learn how to use DAX to carry out calculated column and measure. And with that, calculated column and measure, these are ways we try to transform data using DAX. And after that, we can then start visualizing the the data we've transformed with DAX. So let's understand DAX first. DAX is the full meaning of DAX is data analysis expressions. And it's a formula language used in Power BI, Power Pivot, and analysis services to create custom calculations and data aggregation. So like I said, it's an emulation of those calculations or functions in Excel tool. So Excel is a very powerful tool. Almost everything we are doing is emulated from Excel. So if you understand that very well, you should not struggle with DAX. So the key function in DAX is the functionalities beyond aggregation. So DAX is in such a way that they have building templates where you can just click, drag and drop, and you get, but you can equally use syntax. You can write your own syntax, customize syntax, and that's it. So it equally allows creation of calculated column, measures, and tables using row by row and aggregation of data. So when we talk about calculated columns are added to a table and computed row by row. We know what column is. For instance, looking at this small table here is what we call, you see, quantity is a column. We already know what column is. So we call it calculated column. So if we want to create a column, we can write a syntax, and the syntax will create a column for us. So in this, if we want to understand the revenue, like this here, we have this product A, product B, then here we have the price of product A and the price of product B. And now we have the quantity and the quantity of product B. But we do not have the revenue. We can equally create what we call a revenue section here based on the data we have here already. And to do that, if we want to do it manually, yes, we can do it manually. But with DAX, we just write a syntax like this: total revenue equal to sales price times the sales quantity, and it will give us another column called total revenue. So that is what we can use DAX when we want to create a calculated revenue. So, and for measure is the same approach we use to create calculated column. That's the way, but the one we're trying to create a calculated measure, it will be on, it's not going to be on the data, it's going to be on the Power BI. You see the Power BI, if you click on it, you will see a measure, which we are going to see very soon. So most of the time, we are going to use it to understand the sum, like average, count. For instance, want to understand the average revenue or sum, or this is where the measure comes in. If we want to, example, create the sum of cells, which is we write it like total cells is equal to sum bracket cells price, and that is what is going to give us the total cells. So we can, instead of creating it manually, we write this and automatically is going to give us the total cell from the table. So we have two types of measure. We have implicit measure and we have explicit measure. Implicit measure automatically is automatically created by Power BI by dragging and dropping. So, but the explicit is where we write a syntax like this, and we are going to then create it from this syntax. But when we are using implicit is when you drag it, you drop it, it's automatically created based on the information or data available. You kind of aggregation of data, and it automatically creates whatever. If you are trying to create an average or sum, that is how it's done. We equally have quick measure. Quick measure, these are like templates already in place. So if you want to use quick measure, you just use the template and it's going to quickly create, such as the number year over a year growth or something of that nature. But all this we are going to see them is going to be more understood when we are doing it practical, which we are going to do very soon. So let's look at example of DAX application scenario where we are going to apply DAX. For instance, you are analyzing sales data and need to calculate the following. When you're analyzing a sales data, you want to calculate the total revenue by product. You want to get the average revenue per product, and you want to get the top performing products. So what you do is, from the data set, look at, for instance, this data set we are using for this example. If you want to create calculated column, which is revenue, we've already see how we capture that. In this calculated revenue, once you write this syntax, it's going to give you a revenue like this. And then if you want to create calculated column for profit, just like we create calculated column for revenue, you write a syntax like this, profit, and this, and it's going to create with the cost here, is going to give us the profit. So we know that the cost is sales by quantity minus sales is equal to the cost. Sorry, minus cost is the profit. So the revenue minus the cost is what we have as profit. So with this calculated, we write it like this automatically within the column. It's going to give us a column called profit. So this is how we are using that. So that is mainly for calculation. Help us in calculation. So like you see in Excel, there's a lot of calculation there, but all of them we take this through this kind of syntax. So if we want to create measure, like just like we finished creating the calculated column, measure is then calculated measure is right then when you write a syntax like this, you are creating a calculated a total revenue. It's total revenue. This kind of syntax will give us a calculated revenue. Then if I it's calculated, we are using measure. Then if we want to create a measure for average revenue per product, if we write a syntax like this, it's going to give us the average revenue the product. And if we want to create a measure for profit margin, this is how we are going to do it. Writing a syntax like this is going to give us a revenue, a measure for profit margin. So once we created all this, as we are creating it, you are going to be seeing them. A column will be appearing while we are creating all this. So by the time you want to do your visualization, you will see all of them. All you need to do is to start dragging them and dropping, and you start creating, you start seeing visualization for maybe profit margin, total revenue, average revenue, and so that is how it's done. So after creating all this, the next, because all this is transformation, that is data transformation. We are using it to transform the data in the table. And after the transformation, just the way you create normal visualization, you start creating normal visualization. The only difference is that then you should be able to start seeing the average revenue, the total revenue, the total marginal profits, which ordinarily you won't be able to have in the other table. So if you see a table, the table doesn't normally, most of the tables doesn't come with like marginal revenue. Most table does not come with average revenue. So all this is the insights we are trying to understand. The company is trying to understand how much are they making, how much profit are they making. No table will come with automatically you seeing the total revenue. So it's only if maybe if you are working in an application that got a dashboard that will show some of those metrics. Outside that, the only way to do that is to use a tool like visualization tool or like Power BI or Tableau or Excel documents to find out this total revenue, average revenue, marginal profit. This is what we can do using this, giving the data insights, understanding if we are making profit or if we are not making profit, the margin of profit, the total revenue, the average revenue per product. So this is where this DAX comes very handy when we are using Power BI. So This is equally like we know in Excel is still in Excel. So whichever tool you are using, you should be able to use this in Excel. It's called functions, but here we call it data expression. So having created all this and we want to create the visual. So now, for instance, you want to create a visual for top 3 products by profit margin. All you need to do is you grab the bar chart visual and you drag a product to x-axis, and then you drag profit margin to y-axis. We already know how to do that. One is visualization. We should be a bit comfortable or getting comfortable in terms of visualization. Dragging is all about mainly x-axis and y-axis, and sometimes you see legend. So if we are getting ourselves, once we keep practicing, we'll get to know more about it. At the end of this note, I equally created a resources where we can equally read more about all this via Microsoft Learn. So all this is just, let's try and let's just get straight to the where we can do this practical. So where we can start creating all these small table. I didn't capture it because I just purposely meant for explanation. So that's why I created a bigger data set from FoodTrackCo, although we've changed our name, but we're still using FoodTrackCo, which we will stop using very soon. So the step-by-step guide, data transformation, modeling, and visualization for FoodTrackCo data sets. So we're going to use this. This table is the table I've shared with you. So if you have downloaded this table in your this thing, so it's time we start loading this table on our Power BI so we can start doing some work. Have we all got the table?
Yes, so
Okay. I will, I will proceed to my Power BI environment. So, okay. Okay, now I've uploaded my table, and I'm in here in the reporting view. And if you come to the data environment here, you see the table that I've just uploaded here. You see it here, that is the table. These are all the various columns we've got here in this our table. So the next thing we need to do is to go to where we can start transforming this table. If you want to see the table again, come to table here, you see the table. So that is the table here. Let's go back our view. So now we are going to go to this model, and you click on model. We should be able to see, if you are looking at this model, this is where we can start applying DAX. You can apply DAX from here. You can see here, you see measure. You remember we're talking about measure. You remember we're talking about quick measure. We remember we're talking about calculated column, and we remember talking about table. These are things we can create. So using this DAX. So, and equally from our home tab, we can equally see measure here. You can see measure, you can see quick measure. And well, if you look, you see you cannot see columns. You can't see columns here. So, and that's why it's important we work from this modeling so we can see everything we want. So I'll go back here. From here, you see table and column as well. Okay. Is anyone raising hand?
Yes, sir. I don't know if it's just me. Your screen seems to just be static. Everything you're saying just now, I was just doing it on my own, but when I came back, I saw that your screen was just static. I don't know if it's just me or that's the same challenge.
So what are you seeing? What are you guys seeing?
Just where you is on my screen is showing where you try to select the sales data set. That's what I was. That's where it's been. Okay, maybe it's about changing now. I don't know, but
okay, maybe your network is having so what are you seeing now?
it's just still trying to change the presentation mode or something.
So where I am at this moment is the visualization view report view in Power BI. And the report view in Power BI, I've selected modeling. That is where I'm pointing. So are you seeing that? Let me know.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing.
So the person that is think
yes, I was following, but I just noticed that your screen was static.
so the point now is my screen moving around now.
Yes, I think it has changed now.
Okay. maybe your network is a bit slow or something like that, but yeah. So it might be network issue. Okay, we've talked about calculated column. So the first thing we plan to do is to create a calculated column here. And so we are going to go calculated column for net revenue. So if you look at the note, if you are following from my note as well, so why the note is important is because you have the syntax, the formula on the note. So if you open the note, you will see the formulas. So which when I pick the formula, you can pick it as well. So what we are doing now from the note, we're in the data view, and now what we're planning to do is to transform the data sets using create calculated column for net revenue. So we want to add a net revenue column to this data set. This data set, if you look at it, if you look at this data here, we do not have, if you look at it very well here, just we do not have net revenue. So before it started prompting up this error message, I was telling us we do not have, this is a very long table. We've got a lot of columns on this table, up to 10 columns. So, but here you can see we don't have net revenue. And what we plan to do is to add the net revenue on this using calculated column. So that's what we plan to do. So let's go to where we can run it. And here, let me pick our So you see, I've opened this. So you see, this is where we want to create a um, calculated net revenue column. So you see it here is a column. We can write it, but because we have the syntax, we're just going to create it. So if you want to create it, you make sure you see this column is equal to, you are going to clean it, delete it, and then add. If you add on this, it's going to give you error. You are going to receive error message. So before you add your syntax or start typing anything, make sure you clean here up, which is what I'm going to do. And I'll clean it, you see it here, and then I'll add my syntax. So I'll add my syntax and I'll press enter on my laptop. Once you press enter, it is going to give you, it's going to add another column to the table called net revenue. Now let's do that. Okay. Come down here, you see it, you see net revenue here. You see this icon here. This icon is meant for calculated column. If you see it here, it means that that's calculated. So you've added another column here called net revenue. Okay, that is it. So let's go to our table to see it from the table. We have this net revenue. Net revenue. Well, you can see it's here already, but I just want to make sure that it is. You can see it from here. Okay. If you come here, you see it. This is it here. You see another column is added. It's called net revenue. So you see the column you added automatically has calculated all the net revenue per column. Sorry, per row. Every row calculates net revenue per every row. Every row here you see that is how it calculates it row per row. So you see that is what we just achieved here now. So we've achieved, we got net revenue using calculated column. So the next thing is to create another calculated column for profit. We're going to create two calculate, that is for net revenue and then for profit margin. So the next is just the way we created the other one. We're going to create this one as well. So, and click on this. So just like I said, you need to clean this before, if you by mistake just add your syntax here, you are going to get error message. Let's see. Okay, that is what I'm saying. You see, we've added this. Look at here at the edge of, you look at this red color here showing this is what means we're having error message here. So it's because of this column is equal to, we don't need it. So we should be able to delete it before we can. So you can see the error message is gone. So it's important to, in order to avoid getting any error message. Once you are writing your syntax and you are seeing this red showing on, it means error. It cannot go. If you press enter, it can't go. If you are having error, you are not getting it, or your syntax is not correct, you can't go. And once it's good, all this will be highlighting in gray color and blue color, everything. But once it's not, the syntax is not correct, you'll be getting red signals. So now let's press enter for this profit margin. We're planning to create a column for profit margin. So because we have not created it, you see here, you see column. We have not created, you see the column here. The name is column for now. But once we press enter, this is just for now, is a blank column. It's blank, nothing is here. The column is here, but it's blank. So if you go to the table, you'll see this column, but it's blank. So now we have to click enter and we change to profit margin. Okay, you can see it here. We've created profit margin here. That is it here. Is how profit margin. Hello?
I'm very, very sorry for interrupting you, sir.
No problems.
If you copy the syntax from the note, is it you copy it from there? Putting it here now, you remove the column that you said. How did you now paste it? Because I tried to paste it on this this where you pasted it now. I couldn't get it. I don't know.
Just if you just click on create column, it will open.
Yeah, you click on new column, just new column, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I said delete that column is equal to.
Yeah, I've deleted it.
And to paste it, just use Control V on your laptop. Control V.
Okay, sir. Okay, okay.
Have you be able to, if you use Control V, you are going to paste it. If you want to copy it, highlight it, use Control C.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Have you done that? Oh. Because with time, you start just gradually, I say practice makes perfect. You start, they learn how to use some of this keyboard without even using your mouse or so, but it's it over time. So in some situation, you find out it's difficult to use your mouse in some softwares. So all you just understand the command. If you understand the command, like command for pasting is Control V, and command for copying is Control C. So you press Control on your laptop and you press V, and it's going to paste. Okay. Are we progressing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So now we've successfully created 2 columns. We've created profit margin column and we've created net revenue column. You see, we are gradually transforming our data, our table, our data set. Transformation is adding important column or information or removing unwanted column data set within the table. So that is transformation. So you can see we have started transforming this table using DAX. All we are doing is now DAX. So because you see where we are now, we are not just like using basic transformation just like we used to do before. We are using syntax, we are using code, to do this. Unlike before, we are doing it using basic transformation. Okay. And this is the way companies want to have more insight about, we are talking about, more especially what we are talking about now is about money. That is what every company, they want to understand money, how much they want to, the net. Net is that is their interest, profit margin. See, that is the kind of insight they are trying to, most companies. That is, if you know how to help them to understand the profit margin, net, and the only way you can help them do that is through this DAX. If you are just telling them sales by region, just like we used to do before, yes, they are happy sales by region, but after telling them sales by region, what is the profit realized from that region? If you are just telling them sales by customer, by vendor, it's still good, but they want to understand the profit margin, the net revenue, the total revenue. And this is where this DAX comes very handy. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is to use measure. Measure. I want you to understand this very well. When you are talking about calculated column, this is, you see this icon, it signifies calculated column. Okay, now we are going to go back to start creating measure. So this is calculated column and this is measure. This is table. So we're going to create create a measure for total revenue. Total revenue. So this is total revenue. And I will Control C to copy it, and then go to my Power BI, and then I have to create a measure. To create this measure, I'll click on this. I'll click on new measure, and so to create measure, just like to delete this measure. So what this is, you see, this is icon for measure. You see measure here, it looks like a calculator. That is the icon for measure. You see it's different from calculated column. Measure looks like data, but that is called measure. So because we are going to be this kind of something, we are going to be, in case if you create, what I'm trying to let us know, in case if you create this and you are trying to find out where it is, I just created a measure, I can't find it. This is the icon we are going to be looking at to see this kind of arc. Once you see this kind of icon, it represents measure. So let's get our syntax into, and then, so I'll delete this and I'll Control V. So you see Control V, I've added the syntax, total revenue equal to sales, sum sales revenue, summation of all the sales revenue will give us total revenue, and I will click enter. Okay, just come down here. You look at this measure icon. You can see it here. You can see total revenue. So the total revenue is created. So that is it. I've created total revenue. So if you go to the column for the table, from the table view, you see that we have, let's check it out again from the table. If you want to visualize it from the table to make sure that it's actually created, click on this from the table view and see if all this we're saying, whether they actually got created. So you see here, this is profit margin. We have net revenue, and we have total revenue here. So it should be somewhere here. Yeah, like I said, the revenue is not going to appear on the column. Yes, like I said earlier, it's only the calculated column that is what is going to appear, like net revenue and profit margin. They are calculated column, so they appear here. But under measure, the measure will appear here in the Power BI, but not on the table, but it's going to be appearing here so that when you want to visualize, you can see it and use it to visualize, but it's only the calculated column that is going to appear here. So we have another measure we want to create. We want to create a measure for total profit. So let's be a bit faster. Now I'm just trying to be slow so that, but now we can see how to create calculated column and calculated column and measure. Let's be faster now because of time. So the next thing is total profit. Remember, you can do that from modeling. It's better to do it from here. So total profit, I've added it, and I'll create total profit here. So you see total profit is created. So you can see we have two measure here, total profit and total revenue. We still have more measures to create. We need to create average measure for average vendor rating. And average vendor rating. To know how much the vendors, this will help us to know the top performing vendor in terms of rating from customers. I'll enter. And we've created average, this is it, average vendor rating is created under sales. Yeah. Okay. Let's do one more thing and we'll move to visualization. We want to create measure for total delivery fee. So we want to understand how much we are making from delivery riders. So, and total delivery fee. A new measure. enter. Okay, it's created, and you see, you come down here, you see total delivery fee measure. So we've created 4 measures and 2 calculated columns. So that is it. So the next thing is to visualize what we've done. The first visualization is to create the total revenue by state. And what we are going to use to do that, I know from at this point, even some of you, if you are struggling, at this point, you should be able to do everything without my interference, because we've created a lot of visualization already, only if you are not participating. But if you are participating, from here, it should be easy peasy for you. So what we are going to do is to bring in a bar chart. So let's bring this bar chart here into this area. So bar chart here. So we are done with transformation. We'll finish transforming our data sets. So it's now to visualize. So you can see how we have used DAX to transform our data set. So what do we do now? From the note, you can see what we need to do is to bring the state to the y-axis. So what we're trying to visualize is total revenue by state. So where is the state here? We are going to look for state. And if you come here, look at states here. So that is state. So we are going to drag state to y-axis, state to y-axis. And then we are then going to drag total revenue to total revenue by measure to x-axis. Total revenue. So this is the total revenue by measure. So we are going to drag it to x-axis, and you can see from here, you can see that from the visualization, you don't need to talk again. You can see the most performing. You can see Lagos is the highest by 20K, and followed by Kaduna, then Rivers, Oyo, Enugu, Kano, and Abuja. So that's the first visual created. And we are going to create a second visual. So the second visual we're going to create is going to be profit margin by product. And we're going to use clustered column charts. So if you want to find out clustered, this is stacked column chart. This is, so if you want to find out, once you keep highlighting them, the name will come out. So I highlighted on this, you see clustered column chart. You click on it and you come over here, depending on where you want it to be. I want it to be on top, so I will drag it to the top here. Yeah. So, and this you have to drag products to x-axis. Where is the product? Product is here. We drag this product to x-axis, product, and then we drag profit margin. Where is the profit margin? Calculated profit margin. This is the profit margin. So drag profit margin to y-axis. So now you can see it here. Profit margin, so product and profit margin, you can see. And then we need to visualize vendor rating. Vendor rating. So we'll get pie charts to do that. Pie charts, this is donut chart and this is pie chart. We click on supposed to have so this is pie chart. I click on pie chart for the vendor rating. So with this we need to drag vendor name to legend. Vendor name. Where's the name? Vendor name. Scroll up to look for vendor name. Okay. So you see, we have so many columns. So if you come down, you are going to see vendor here. And vendor name to legend. And then we drag average vendor rating to value. Let's look for average. This is the average vendor rating. That is it here. So we drag it to value. And the visual is completed on this. So we have another visual, which is delivery fee by state. So this will help us to know the states who are making more money on delivery. And then it's going to help us to intensify our efforts to dominate the states. So to do that, we are going to use map visual. Map visual. So where is the map? This is the map here. So we're going to click on map. So we are going to drag city to location field. That is it here. I've grabbed it and I drop it here. So now we're going to drag total delivery fee to size. And where is the size? You can see bubble size here. This is the bubble size. And what are we bringing the total delivery fee? If you go to the measure, we have total delivery fee. We created measure for total delivery fee. So measure is helping us to measure the total delivery fee. So trying to understand total delivery fee, and that is it here. We grab it. We grab it and put it to bubble size here. Grab it, put it to bubble size. And looking at the bubble sizes, you can see that this is the bubble size. You see that Lagos are getting 350. So Lagos still gives us, followed by a delivery fee. City of Surulere, then let's see. And well, looking at the bubble size, Lagos have bigger bubble size, and followed by Kaduna, and followed by Ibadan, and followed by Benin City, and followed by Kano. So, and in terms of vendor rating, we have this is 4.8 from this vendor, Fresher Mat. Fresher Mat vendor is the most rated by the rating is here is 4.8 rating. The average rating is 4.8, so it's been on top, followed by Food Heaven. Food Heaven is getting 4.7 rating, and followed by Vegemart 4.6 rating, and followed by Grocery World. Grocery World is 4.4 star rating, but the highest here is 4.8 rating, and that is Fresh Mart. So that is it. So that is the insight we've gained. So if you're looking at the insights we gained, top revenue generating state, highest profit product, and vendor rating, and delivery fee. So the highest product is this tomatoes. The highest product, highest profit product. So we're making our most profit from tomatoes, apple, and yam, and then so that is it. And then the total revenue you're making, the highest revenue is from Lagos, followed by Kaduna, and that is, you can see the kind of insight this has given to us. So, and so, and we come back here. So to give this dashboard a name, we come here and we can see what's the name we can give to this dashboard. Say food, food tracker, food tracker, financial report, insight. So this is financial report because you can see everything we're talking here is about revenue. It's about money only for this where we have rating. You can use any name of your choice. Just suggested. Um, So that's it. If you want to decorate your report or your dashboard more, we've captured what we planned for tonight. And so the purpose is to help us use DAX to, create more insight, more especially financial. So you can see it's more about, more insight talking about monetary profits, margin, total revenue, and this is the kind of report the executives, company executive will want to understand. Mr. Alex?
Yes, sir. Sorry that I have to drag you to the map, sir.
Okay.
When I was following you on the map, I noticed that my map was disabled on the Power BI. So before I could go to setting to enable it, you passed me. And where I am is I've done the city. I've dragged the city to the as stated in the instruction to the location feed. But when I want to drag total delivery fee major to the size feed, I did not see that size feed. What I'm seeing here is legend, latitude, longitude.
You see bubble size. We call the bubble size. Do you see bubble size?
What I saw, what is there is tooth tips after that longitude, latitude.
We have this.
Under the longitude, latitude, there is bubble size.
This is not the first time we are using map visual. The map visual is okay. If you click on map, so I've clicked on map now, and you can see the first thing, the first area is location, and you see legend, you see longitude, you see latitude. Okay, drag, you see here, still you can scroll it down. When you scroll it down, after longitude, you see bubble size. So that when you say size, you mean bubble size. If you don't have it on your own, then it means you need to update your Power BI, but it should be there. And you remember, this is not the first time we are using map. We've been using map. So it's not like it's a new thing. And after bubble size, we'll have two tips. Can you see that now?
Okay, I will go to setting again because it's not there.
Okay, maybe it's from your, but in some of the other visual we've done, do you remember we've used map visual before? Can you remember that?
Yes, sir.
So what is happening now? So you have to check. Maybe something is wrong with your Power BI, but I know we have it. And maybe it's been disabled, because I remember the first day we used it. I think it was Mr. Coker that he was even telling us how to go to the cell, because my own didn't have problem, but some of you are having problem, including Mr. Coker.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, you have to go to the setting, to the options, and enable map. You remember that?
Yes.
So if your map is not working properly, but your own is a bit because your map is working, but the only thing is that you cannot see the bubble.
No, which of the, sir, probably the click on the second map, not this one. Look, delete it and click on the real one, the actual map, the one that looks like a map of Nigeria, or this, yes, this particular map that look like the spherical map, not the wide, not the second one, the first one. The one, the map itself, not the field map.
Is this the map you use?
Okay, that is the one I click on.
Okay.
I think that is where the issue is. Let me delete that one.
So, okay, I get it now. This is the map. We say map, and this is field map. So it's different. This, if you go to, we just say map. We didn't say field map. All of them have something they are doing special. Mr. Godwin, thank you for being so. If you are, this is what you use. You use field map.
I can see it now, sir. I've done it and the bubble is showing.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
okay.
I said concerning these measures that we created, like total delivery, total profit, total revenue. Is there any way you can show us how to display it using KPI? Using the KPI version.
We have to create a separate note for KPIs. So we'll create a separate note which I will share, but for now, no, these are the KPIs.
Yes.
So no, not good. KPI we use card. Where's okay. So to get KPIs, we are going to be using card for KPIs. So I will create a separate note for that.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah. And this is another KPI. Yeah. We'll create another note for KPI. So, well, that is it for tonight, and I'll look into that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, based on this, we need to try to practice more on these DAX because this is where the industries, this is exactly where they are looking for people who have experience in this DAX environment. If you know how to use DAX very well, it might be a breakthrough for you. So it's very important. And what I'll do is I will create more notes or more data sets, or even on this where you guys can work on a group to keep on practicing, but based on time, we need to, we've spent a lot of time on Power BI, so we need to move to other tools because of time. So, and that's all I can do. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's okay. That's well noted.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So before we start tomorrow, maybe I'll drop assignment on DAX where we perform another. That will be something you guys can do as a group, and yeah, where we can capture like APIs and the card, because this card is equally important. Card is one of maybe tables, you see. So, but if we continue to spend more time here, it's going to take us, we're not going to meet up, because I plan for us to capture Tableau and the Python. This is going to take some time, so we have to move faster.